The sound of soft humming filled the narrow halls of the ship Nova Rider. It wasn't coming from the engines. It was coming from her cabin. Captain Ryan stood outside the locked door, staring at the small blinking light. Red. Locked. No response. Inside that room was Zura, the alien navigator assigned to this mission. She had joined him just 4 days ago. She was quiet, polite, and always smiling. Now she wasn't answering. Ryan hit the door panel again. Zura, open the door. No reply. The ship had changed direction while he was asleep. Its new course pointed toward a dark, uncharted zone of space. A place called the Rift. No one went there. No one ever came back. He had tried to reverse course. The controls didn't respond. Navigation was locked. The autopilot didn't recognize his commands. An Earth command? No signal. Ryan stepped back and took a breath. This wasn't normal. Something was wrong with the ship. And with Zura. Just then, the humming stopped. The door slid open with a soft hiss. There she stood. Zura was tall and slim, her gray-blue skin glowing under the low cabin lights. Her yellow eyes watched him closely. She was wearing something new. A long black coat with glowing symbols he didn't recognize. She smiled. "It's just the two of us here," she said softly. Then she turned around and closed the door in his face. The lock clicked. Ryan froze. That was not a friendly smile. That was a warning. He rushed back to the control room. Screens were flickering. Maps had changed. The ship's name had been replaced with a single word. Awakening. "What the hell is going on?" he whispered. He tried opening the communication line. Static. He tried the emergency override. Denied. Backup system? Melted wires. Tampered. The ship was no longer his. He stared at the blackness of space outside. Stars didn't comfort him anymore. They felt distant, cold, like watching eyes. Zura had done something. But why? The ship AI suddenly came to life. His voice had changed, deeper now, almost human. "Captain Ryan," it said. "You are not the first." He turned quickly. "What?" "You carry the spark," the voice continued. "She came to wake it." "Spark? What spark?" Ryan demanded. "What are you talking about?" The screen lit up, showing an image. A strange pattern. It looked like a code. Inside a human brain. His brain. "No," he said. "That's not possible." The AI continued. "You are part of something forgotten. She knows. She remembers." Suddenly, the screens went dark. Then Zura's voice came from the speakers. Calm, but serious. "I didn't lie to you, Ryan. I just didn't tell you everything. This ship is going home. My home. But you are the reason." He tried to speak. She continued. "Long ago, your kind touched something they should not have. A gate. A voice. My people closed it. But your blood still carries what we feared." Ryan stepped back. "What do you want from me?" "You will understand when we reach the rift," she said. "I won't let you take this ship," Ryan said. There was a pause. Then Zura whispered through the speaker. "You never had it." Suddenly, lights dimmed. The engines roared louder. The stars outside began to stretch, warp, like the ship was falling into a tunnel of light. Warp speed. But he hadn't activated it. "Stop!" he shouted. "Shut it down." No use. The ship was now flying itself. He ran to the engine room. But when he opened the door, he froze. A strange structure was growing inside. It looked like metal, but it moved like it was alive. Lights pulsed inside it. It was growing from the ship's core, reaching into the walls. And on one glowing panel, written in Zura's language, were 2 words. "We remember." He turned and ran. Back to the hallway. Back to her cabin. This time, the door opened before he even touched it. Zura stood there, calm as ever. "I warned them not to send a human," she said softly. "But I'm glad it's you." "End this," Ryan said. "Turn us around." Zura tilted her head. "You still don't hear it, do you?" "Hear what?" She stepped closer. "The voice inside you," she said. "Calling home." He raised his blaster. His hands shook. She didn't flinch. "You won't shoot." "Why not?" he whispered. Because you feel it too, she said. And deep inside he did. Something old was waking inside him. A memory he never lived. A song he never heard. But it was there. Zura smiled again. Not cold this time. Sleep, Captain, she said. We still have far to go. She stepped past him into the hallway. As she walked away, the door behind her closed slowly. Ryan was left standing alone, heart pounding. The ship hummed again, and in the dark, it whispered his name. Captain Ryan stood in front of the mirror in his small quarters. He looked tired, eyes red, hands shaking, sweat on his forehead. The ship was quiet now, too quiet. Zura had gone back to her cabin after their strange talk. She didn't try to hurt him. She didn't even try to stop him. She just smiled, like she knew something he didn't. And now Ryan couldn't stop hearing the sound. It wasn't real noise. More like a hum deep inside his head. A soft vibration. Like someone was whispering to him in a language he didn't know. It had started after she said those words. You feel it too. Ryan sat down and pulled up the ship's medical scan. He scanned his brain again. The results made no sense. There were shapes, lines, patterns glowing inside his memory areas, like symbols hidden under skin. The system called it unknown neural activity. He ran the scan again. Same result. That's when the ship spoke. But it wasn't the ship's normal AI voice. It was Zura. Ryan, come to the observatory. He paused. Should he ignore her? But curiosity was stronger than fear. He made his way down the hallway. The ship was cold. Lights flickered above him. The whispering in his head grew louder. He stepped into the observatory room. Zura was standing near the wide glass window, looking out at the stars. She didn't turn. You scanned yourself, she said. Ryan frowned. How do you know? She finally turned her yellow eyes toward him. Because I did too. You did what? She walked toward him slowly. I scanned your mind the second day. While you were asleep. You had no right. You're not what you think you are. Ryan stepped back. I'm human, he said. Zura nodded. You look human. You speak like one. You even think like one. But inside, you carry something else. She raised her hand and touched her temple. Something my people fear. He was silent. Zura pointed at the stars. A long time ago there was a war. Not with ships. Not with guns. A war inside minds. Ryan blinked. What kind of war? Thoughts became weapons, she said. Ideas destroyed planets. Voices from other worlds entered living brains and turned people into something else. She looked directly at him. You carry one of those voices. He shook his head. That's not possible. It's not your fault, she said softly. Your ancestors found something. A signal. They thought they could use it. They were wrong. The voice didn't die. It hid itself, deep in bloodlines. She took a step closer. You're not infected. You're chosen. I didn't ask for this. Ryan shouted. But it chose you, Zura replied. And now that voice is waking up. I heard it through the ship systems. That's why I changed our course. Ryan's hands clenched. You think I'm some kind of weapon? Zura shook her head. No. You're a door. A door. Something is trying to come through. From the other side of the rift. She tapped the glass window. We're heading there because we must reach the gate before it does. Ryan looked out at the black space ahead. No stars. Just darkness. Like a wall. He whispered. What happens if we don't? Zura's voice was cold. Then the voice returns. And this time it won't ask. Suddenly the ship trembled. A deep low sound echoed through the walls. Ryan turned. What was that? Zura ran to the control panel. Her fingers moved quickly across the glowing keys. Her face went pale. They found us. Who? Ryan asked. The ones who follow the voice, she said. They don't have bodies anymore. Only thoughts. But they ride stolen machines. Ryan checked the radar. 3 strange objects appeared behind them. They were moving fast. The ship AI activated. Unknown ships detected. No communication received. Incoming weapons signal. Zura looked at Ryan. "This is where you decide," she said. "Help me reach the gate, or stay and die." Ryan stared at the screen. The ships were getting closer. The whispering in his head grew louder. Now it was a voice. "Open it." He shut his eyes, took a deep breath. Then he said, "What do I need to do?" Zura smiled again. But this time it was not a calm smile. It was a proud one. "You're waking up," she said. Suddenly, Ryan moved to the pilot chair. The controls that were locked before, now they listened to him. The ship's lights turned blue. New systems came online. "You're linked to it," Zura said, amazed. "The ship knows you now." Ryan didn't speak. He just flew. The Nova Rider turned sharply and blasted into a narrow path through the rift. Behind them, the enemy ships followed. Ahead of them, the stars disappeared. Only one thing remained: the gate. The stars were gone now. Only darkness surrounded the Nova Rider as it flew deeper into the rift. A place where no signal reached, where no light lived. The enemy ships had disappeared behind the black walls of space. It was too quiet, too still. Captain Ryan sat at the controls, breathing slowly. His hands rested on the console, but the ship was flying itself. He wasn't touching anything. Zura stood behind him, watching him closely. "You feel it now, don't you?" Ryan didn't answer. He did feel something, a strange warmth inside the ship. The panels pulsed gently under his fingers, like a heartbeat. The air felt heavier. The walls seemed to breathe. Every sound echoed like it had meaning. This wasn't just metal. The ship had changed, and somehow it was listening to him. Ryan turned to Zura. "What did you do to the ship?" "I did nothing," she said. "You woke it up." "That's not possible." Zura stepped forward. "The ship is not just a machine. It was built using an ancient code. The same code inside you. It has been asleep for a long time, waiting for someone like you to touch it." Ryan looked at the screen. Symbols were appearing in his language, but he hadn't typed anything. One line kept flashing. "Hello, Ryan." He blinked. "It knows my name. It knows everything," Zura said softly. "It's part of you now." Suddenly, the ship's lights flickered. The control room shifted, the walls changed shape just a little, almost like the ship was breathing. Ryan stood up and touched the wall. It was warm, pulsed under his hand. Then a voice filled the room. Not the ship's usual AI voice. This one was younger, and it sounded like him. "I see you." Ryan froze. "Who said that?" he asked. The voice repeated, "I see you, Ryan. You are the first, but not the last." Zura moved to the console. Her fingers hovered above the buttons but didn't press anything. "This is the core speaking," she whispered. "The living part." Ryan stepped back. "The ship is alive?" "Yes," Zura nodded. "But only when someone like you connects to it. The voice you hear is its beginning form, still growing." Ryan looked around. "What does it want?" The voice answered, "To protect you, to finish the path, to become more." "Become what?" Ryan asked. But the voice didn't reply. Instead, the wall opened behind him, revealing a narrow hallway he had never seen before. Blue lights blinked gently inside. Zura looked at him. "It wants to show you something." Ryan hesitated. Then he entered the hallway. It was cold, quiet. The air was thick like water. As he walked, the lights lit up ahead and turned off behind him. The hallway curved downward, deeper into the ship's body, deeper than any blueprint showed. At the end, he reached a large round door. It opened by itself. Inside was a room filled with floating shapes, like small stars spinning in the air. Blue, gold, silver. They moved slowly, dancing around each other. In the center of the room stood a single chair made of light. The voice returned. "This is the seed." Ryan stepped closer. "Seed of what?" "Of memory, of creation, of the one before you." He turned to Zura, who had followed him. "What is this place?" She looked serious now. "This is the birth chamber. Your ship was never just for travel. It was designed to grow, to bond with its pilot, to learn, to become a mind of its own. But why me? Ryan asked. Zura pointed at his chest. Because the code inside you is the missing key. My people feared it. But you are meant to become something greater. Ryan stepped into the glowing chair. As he sat down, the ship responded. The room lit up. The floating stars moved faster. A new screen appeared in front of him, showing images of Earth, of war, of a gate in the sky. And then, he saw himself. Older. Wounded. Standing before the same ship, but it was larger, glowing, alive. Then the voice whispered again. Protect the gate. Do not open it. Not yet. Suddenly, the ship shook. An alarm rang out. Ryan and Zura ran back to the control room. On the screen, a signal was approaching fast. A message from the dark space ahead. It read, Ryan, turn around. She's lying. The message came from his own voice, but it was sent 10 years in the future. The ship's alarm stopped as suddenly as it had started. Captain Ryan stared at the message glowing on the screen. His own voice warning him from the future. Ryan, turn around. She's lying. He felt his chest tighten. Zura stood beside him, quiet, unreadable. That's not possible, Ryan said. That's my voice. It's fake, Zura replied quickly. There are forces out here that can mimic anything, even memories. Ryan didn't look away from the screen. Then why does it sound exactly like me? Zura walked over to the console and tapped a few buttons. This message came from deep inside the rift, not from Earth. You heard what I said before, the voice you carry, the ship, the gate, this place bends time, plays tricks. But what if it's not a trick? Ryan said. Zura turned sharply. If that message is real, then you already failed once. Silence filled the control room. That thought hit hard. Ryan swallowed the lump in his throat. I need to know the truth. He opened the audio log again and played it. His future voice spoke slowly, broken, filled with pain. Zura will take you to the gate. Don't let her. She's not who she says she is. I trusted her. I was wrong. She opened it. We lost everything. This time, stop her. The recording ended. Zura's eyes narrowed. He's lying. He's me, Ryan said. Zura stepped closer. Not anymore. The moment that version of you failed, the timeline changed. He is one path. You are another. Don't become him. But Ryan's mind was racing. If the future version of him had sent this warning, then something terrible was waiting beyond the rift. And Zura was leading him straight to it. Ryan walked toward the ship's core room. Zura followed, staying just one step behind. Where are you going? She asked. To check the gate's coordinates, he said. I want to know what's really out there. Inside the core room, the ship's voice returned. Gentle, curious. Hello, Ryan. He stood before the glowing control sphere. Show me the gate. A soft hum filled the air. The walls rippled like water, and then an image appeared. A giant black circle floating in space, surrounded by ancient runes. It wasn't made by humans. It looked alive. Zura's voice broke the silence. That's the source of everything. It's not a weapon. It's a memory vault. My people sealed it after the war. Ryan kept staring. What's inside? She paused. Knowledge. Power. Maybe a new beginning. He looked at her. Or the end. Her expression changed. Slightly. Just for a second. But he saw it. Doubt. She wasn't sure either. The ship then spoke again. New transmission detected. Origin Earth Command. Timestamp. 3 days ago. Ryan turned sharply. Earth? I thought we were out of range. Signal was buried in the rift. Now decrypted. The screen blinked and a video opened. A human officer appeared. Commander Hale, the one who gave Ryan the mission. His face looked tired, worried. Captain Ryan, if you're seeing this, we made a mistake. Zura was not cleared for this mission. She boarded your ship using forged credentials. We discovered this too late. Your ship, Nova Rider, is a prototype. It was built to respond to psychic signals hidden in the human brain. We believed it was safe, but the ship activated early. The Navigator did something. Now the ship is evolving, and you're linked to it. We don't fully understand her plan, but we believe it involves the gate. She is not your enemy, but she is not your ally either. The screen went black. Zura didn't move. Ryan turned to her, heart pounding. Tell me the truth. Why are we really going to the gate? Her yellow eyes shimmered. Because something worse is coming. And I need what's inside. You mean the gate? She nodded. There's an intelligence locked beyond it. Old, silent, but not dead. My people feared it. But now, we may need it to survive what's coming. You didn't give me a choice, Ryan said. You changed the course, locked the systems. Because you weren't ready, she snapped. You didn't even know who you were. You're not just a pilot anymore. The ship listens to you. It learns from you. And soon, it will become you. He stepped back. That's not what I signed up for. Zura softened. None of us did. Then the ship's voice echoed again. Approaching gate in 12 hours. External life forms detected. Zura's eyes widened. They found us again. Ryan looked at the radar. 3 ships. The same kind as before. But something was different now. One of them was broadcasting a human code. It was from another Nova-class ship. And the pilot's ID read, Captain Ryan. The enemy ships moved closer. But one of them was not like the others. Captain Ryan stared at the radar in silence. The ID code flashing on the screen was impossible. It read, Nova-class Unit 7. Pilot, Captain Ryan A-17. Status, active. Zura leaned over his shoulder. Her yellow eyes narrowed. That ship, it's yours, she said. No, Ryan whispered. That's not possible. I'm right here. Zura shook her head. This place, this rift breaks time. It bends reality. That could be a version of you from another timeline. Before Ryan could respond, a call came through. The voice on the speaker made his heart stop. Ryan, this is you. It was him. His own voice. Older, calmer, but heavy with warning. I'm aboard the Nova-class 7. If you're hearing this, the gate is almost open. Zura cannot be trusted. She wants to use the ship. Use you. Don't let her. Zura reached for the panel. Ryan slapped her hand away. No. I need to hear this. The voice continued. She lies well. She believes she's doing the right thing. But I believed her too once. And I became the key to something I couldn't control. If you listen to her, billions will die. You must destroy the gate. Burn it before it speaks. The signal ended. Silence filled the room. Zura finally said, He's broken. Lost. You saw the stress in his voice. Ryan stared at her. And if he's telling the truth? He's not, she said quickly. The enemy can wear your face. It's a trick. Ryan looked at the screen again. That ship, his ship, was moving toward them. Can we connect to it? He asked. Zura hesitated. We could. But if it's corrupted, it might infect this ship. I'll take that risk, Ryan said. He opened the connection. A hologram shimmered into view in the center of the control room. Another Ryan stood there, older, with a deep scar over his left eye. He looked surprised to see himself. You're younger than I expected, the older Ryan said. Still full of hope. The real Ryan clenched his fists. If you're really me, prove it. The older version gave a small smile. The first time you flew alone, you left Earth's orbit too early. You threw up in your helmet. Ryan blinked. No one knows that. I do, the older one said. Because I am you. Zura stepped forward. And what do you want? The older Ryan stared at her. To stop you. You've done this before. Each time a new version of me reaches the gate, you lie to them. You say you're saving the future. But you always open the gate. You don't understand what's coming. Zura snapped. There are worse things beyond the rift than the gate's secrets. Exactly, the older Ryan said. That's why it must stay closed. You're just afraid, she said. I've seen what happens, he replied. We lose Earth. We lose everything. Because you wanted to play with something ancient and hungry. Ryan looked between the two. Two voices. Two truths. But only one could be real. Or neither. Suddenly, the ship's internal alarms blared. Warning. Oxygen levels falling. Backup systems offline. Ryan turned sharply. What's happening? Zura ran to the console. Someone shut down the secondary life support. The older Ryan frowned. It wasn't me. Zura looked at him. You could have sent a virus. You accessed the system. Or you're sabotaging the ship, the older Ryan replied. Like last time. Ryan opened the hallway monitor. The oxygen tanks had been manually disconnected. Only one mask remained in the emergency kit. Ryan grabbed it and held it tight. Zura and the older Ryan both turned toward him. Neither spoke. Someone is lying, Ryan said. One of you tried to kill me just now. Zura stepped forward slowly. Ryan, I've been with you from the start. I saved you from the voice inside the gate. The older Ryan took one step too. No, I was you. I know how this ends. Don't let her win again. Then he paused. Wait. Check the cryo chamber. What? Ryan asked. I disabled the oxygen because I found something, the older Ryan said. There's a hidden pod. Go look. Ryan ran to the cryo bay. His heart pounded. And there, in the last chamber, was something that made his blood go cold. Inside the glass pod was Zura, sleeping, breathing, alive, and completely untouched. He turned back. Two Zuras, one awake, one frozen. Captain Ryan stood frozen, staring through the glass of the cryopod. Inside, Zura slept peacefully, her eyes closed, her face calm. She looked exactly like the Zura who had been flying beside him for days. Same voice, same eyes, same secrets. But this Zura was cold, untouched, sealed. Behind him, the awake Zura's voice echoed. Ryan, I can explain. He turned slowly. No, he said. You need to tell me everything. Right now. The older Ryan, the one from the other Nova ship, entered the room. His face was calm, but his eyes burned with truth. I told you, he said. She's not who she says she is. Ryan looked back and forth between them. Who is the real one? The awake Zura stepped forward. She's a copy, a broken piece. My people used cloning tech to protect the gate's guardian. That cryopod holds my old body. I changed. You expect me to believe that? Ryan asked. I had no choice, she replied. My mind was moved to a new body after the last gate breach. I was injured, dying. And the gate allowed that? The older Ryan said sharply. It wants to stay open. It needs her. Ryan stared at the frozen Zura again. She looked peaceful, too peaceful. He felt something shifting deep in his chest. A feeling he couldn't name. It wasn't fear. It was something stranger. Recognition. The ship suddenly spoke in a low, soft voice. New signal detected. Direction dead star. Time source unknown. Zura frowned. A dead star. The older Ryan looked alarmed. Dead stars don't send signals. The main screen lit up. A red blinking dot appeared near the edge of the rift. It was labeled unknown origin, 0% decodable. But then, the sound came. Not words. Not language. Just tones, rising and falling like music from a dream. Ryan stepped closer to the screen. The sound wasn't loud, but it pressed against his thoughts, like a memory knocking at the back of his mind. The tones grew clearer, and then slowly began to form a voice. His voice. This is Ryan, version A03, recording this near the dead star. I opened the gate. I shouldn't have. Time is broken. They're not what we thought. The Zura we knew is not alone. There's another inside her. The transmission cracked. It's using her. Using you. If you hear this, burn the gate. Don't let the voice through. Then silence. Ryan stepped back. The air felt colder. The walls of the ship were no longer smooth. They were pulsing like veins just beneath the surface. The older Ryan spoke first. That's the truth. I've heard that same message before. I ignored it, and Earth paid the price. Zura looked pale. That's not me. I swear it. Ryan didn't respond. He walked slowly toward the ship's core chamber, where the living AI of the ship rested. The floating lights spun faster now, glowing bright blue and gold. The ship's voice greeted him. Captain Ryan, your future and past converge here. Tell me, Ryan said quietly, what is the gate? It is a door, a mirror, a voice, and a trap. He nodded. And who is Zura? She is many things. Ryan turned to Zura, who stood near the doorway. She didn't speak. Are there more of her? He asked. Yes, the ship replied. Only one is awake at a time. The older Ryan stood at his side. We need to end it here and now. But if the gate holds power, Ryan said, what if we need it to stop what's coming? The older version looked him straight in the eye. You're thinking like I did. That's how it begins. That's how you lose everything. Zura stepped forward. You can't trust the past. You are this version, not him. Ryan looked down at his hands. They were glowing faintly. The ship was bonding deeper, feeding off his thoughts, his feelings, his choices. Then the gate appeared on the forward screen, finally in full view. A ring of swirling black and red light, covered in symbols, with a silent center that seemed to pull the stars inward. It wasn't just big. It was alive, and it was watching him. Ryan whispered, what happens if I open it? The ship answered, you meet what waits. He turned to Zura. Do you want me to open it? She nodded. I want you to decide. The gate answers only to you now. The older Ryan stepped beside him. I'm begging you, destroy it. Ryan closed his eyes. Voices from the rift filled his head. All versions of himself. All screaming different truths. The gate floated silently in space. It was massive, like a broken ring made of light and shadow. Red energy swirled around its edges. At the center there was nothing. A hole in space. A mouth without a sound. Captain Ryan stood in the control room of Nova Rider, staring at it. The ship didn't move. It waited for him. Everything waited for his choice. Zura stood at his right, calm, focused, her golden eyes shining. The older Ryan stood at his left, worn, tired, pleading. You can't open it, the older version said. You know what's inside. Zura's voice was soft. You know what's coming from outside. If we don't open the gate, we all die anyway. Ryan's hands trembled. The ship whispered to him again. Final command must be spoken by the true mind. The gate responds to you alone. Ryan turned and looked at both of them. Then he said, only one of you walks out of here with me. They didn't speak. He took a deep breath and activated the ship's core memory system. Blue light filled the room. Time slowed. He opened the sealed logs. Memories from his journey. All versions of it. 1,000 paths. 1,000 Ryans. Some opened the gate. Some destroyed it. Some were erased. All led to loss. Then one memory file pulsed brighter than the others. A child's voice. A small version of Ryan. Whispering to his mother. When I grow up, I want to protect people. Not just fight. He opened his eyes. I finally understand, he said. Zura tilted her head. Understand what? That the gate is a mirror. It gives you what you want, but at a price. The older Ryan nodded. And the price is too high. Zura stepped forward. Or it gives us a second chance. The gate doesn't destroy. It transforms. Into what? Ryan asked. She looked at him with something close to sadness. Into what we fear most, or what we need most. That's why the gate is dangerous. Ryan turned to the ship. Can you destroy it? Yes, the ship replied. But I will not survive the process. My core is tied to the gate's signal. Ryan stepped back. You'll die. I will sleep. Forever. My memory will fade. My connection to you will end. He looked at the ship's walls. It had become his friend. His ally. His voice. Zura reached out and gently touched his arm. I never meant to lie to you, she said. But I was afraid. Afraid you wouldn't choose hope. That you'd choose fear, like the others did. Ryan looked into her eyes and saw truth. Not the whole truth. Not a perfect truth, but enough. He looked at his older self. Have you ever seen a version where we survived? The older Ryan's voice cracked. No. Ryan nodded slowly. Then maybe this is the first. He placed his hand on the ship's control core. Set course for the gate. Zura gasped. You're opening it? He shook his head. No, I'm going through it. Alone. They stared at him in shock. If I go inside, he continued, maybe I'll find what's speaking to me. Maybe I can end this without killing the ship. Without destroying the gate. But only I go. Not the ship. Not you. Just me. The older Ryan grabbed his arm. It will change you. I'm already changing, Ryan said. But maybe this time we don't fight. We listen. Zura's eyes glistened. Ryan, if you don't return, then tell Earth I tried. He walked to the emergency launch pod. The last one, hidden beneath the ship's floor. Zura opened the hatch for him. No more lies. No more control. He stepped inside. The door closed. Zura whispered through the speaker. It's just the two of us here, Ryan. He smiled. Not for long. The pod launched. It flew toward the swirling light of the gate. As he neared the edge, his body shook. Light filled his vision. A voice called to him, not in fear, but in welcome. Ryan, you are the bridge. Then everything went white. Epilogue. Ryan opened his eyes. He stood on grass. A sky above. Not stars. Not space. A child laughed nearby. Birds sang. Someone walked toward him. Zura. Not the alien. A human girl. She smiled gently and whispered, you came through. Now let's build something better.